An underrated skill in the NFL is perimeter blocking. And when you are part of a NFL team that likes to consider themselves a run first team, perimeter blocking for wide receivers are very, very important. And the Colts have two of those guys right now with Michael Pittman Jr. and Zach Pascal. And Pittman Jr. seems to be actually getting better and better as he gets more and more experience. You could tell over the past year and a half that Michael Pittman Jr. has done a fantastic job of just getting better at doing this. Now, on this play, this is a very rare type play in the NFL. It's a toss sweep where Wentz is going to snap this ball out and toss it out here to Jonathan Taylor on a wide sweep. And this lead block is all on Michael Pittman Jr., believe it or not. Michael Pittman Jr., his block is going to dictate how far this play actually can go. And his job right off the bat is this cornerback. Now, if we watch this play, watch Michael progress down the field, and he's going to pay attention to the corner. As soon as that cornerback stops and realizes this is a sweep up front, Pittman stops with him. And look, he's got nice position here. He sets himself up on the block, right? And he knows, as long as I block him here, that's good. Watch what happens. Now, he can't pay attention to the safety. There's nothing, he can't block two people at once. His job is this corner. And he sets himself, he squares his shoulders up, watches, and as the corner tries to get past him, he immediately comes up, makes contact, solid contact. Now, he's got contact with him at the first down marker. That is a heck of a job right there of just setting up. Watch what he does afterwards. This is all power. That's all he does is push him past. He pushes him 5 yards past where the initial contact was. Yes, the safety makes the tackle on the play, but had he not been able to block out that cornerback, this play would have happened well. Jonathan Taylor maybe have picked up 5 yards on this run and not 13. So great job on blocking by Michael Pittman Jr., and you can expect that a lot. That's one of the reasons why the running game for the Colts are so good when they run outside the tackles. Another underrated skill for wide receivers in today's NFL is ball security. Everybody wants to talk about, look at the great catches they can make. Look what they can do downfield. They can make people miss. They got great moves. They can get down. But you know what? If you fumble the football, then that whole play is for naught. And you're a liability to your team if you drop the football after the catch or drop the football on contact, right? So on this play, Michael Pittman Jr. shows how good he really is at ball security. As we watch, you see him tied up against the line just on the outside. This ball is going to go to him as we watch the play develop. He gets up to the top of the screen. He's going to take a nice little out route right here. And the ball's thrown. Now, you look. This is a great catch by Michael Pittman Jr., knowing that the defensive back is about to light him up because it's right in front of the defensive back. This is a scary position for any wide receiver, but he has the presence of mind. Watch how fast he secures this ball. Bam. Instantaneously. Before his feet even hit the ground, he's got two hands on the ball. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Catches that as one foot comes down. He's got secure. As the second foot comes down, that ball is in his breadbasket, secured immediately. That is a fantastic job of securing that football and making sure that this ball's not coming out. Because in a lot of other instances, this catch right here is a fumble. A lot of times it's going to be because of the hit, because it's catch hit, it's going to be knocked out. But Pittman did a great job squaring his shoulders up, setting himself up, making sure the catch was first, and then securing the ball second. And a lot of players can't do that. Michael Pittman can do that. He's not going to fumble the football too often. This is a great, great job by Michael Pittman Jr. And this is one of the reasons why Carson Wentz is going to throw to him often, right? He has the ability to do this, and Carson Wentz knows it. And because of that, he trusts Michael Pittman Jr. to come down with the football even when there's immediate contact after the catch. Outside wide receivers here in the NFL have to be able to make sideline catches. They are a staple in the NFL nowadays, especially in your 2-minute offense. When you're trying to save time, you got to be able to catch the ball along the sideline and tiptoe inside, that toe drag swag stuff, that everybody talks about. And when you're 6'4", you have an advantage doing that. And if you can control your body properly, you can become an incredible weapon, making sideline catches and, back of the end zone catches, things of that nature. So if we watch here on this play, Michael Pittman Jr. is on the bottom of the screen. Let's watch this play here as he goes down the field. Watch this throw by Carson Wentz. It comes back. This is a beautiful back shoulder throw right here to the open spot. Pittman stops, turns around, raises his hands up, catches the football right here. Now, this is right outside. He catches this football, and his hands where he catches the football is actually out of bounds, but he's able to keep his feet in bounds and fall, and this is a completed catch. Absolutely gorgeous right here. As we watch, that ball coming in, and he's able to keep those feet in bounds. It's beautiful, beautiful. And on top of that, think about this. Like I said, he's 6'4", 225 pounds. He's got an arm length of 32.5 inches, which gives him an advantage over other receivers that are 6'4", because now he's got a reach of a wide receiver that's 6'7" rather than 6'4", which gives him, like I said, that advantage. And this is something that the Colts absolutely need to be able to have, be able to make these kind of plays, get your first downs, fall out of bounds, stop the clock, or say in the red zone, He's a wide receiver that has the reach of a person that is 6'7". He's a big body, 225 pounds, who can box out smaller corners. That's huge in the NFL. Now, we haven't seen a lot of that yet in the red zone, especially near the end zone. Michael Pittman really hasn't been targeted that way, but I expect that to happen as Carson Wentz continues to go to Pittman Jr. and trust this type of play by him. The more often this happens, the more he'll trust him in this situation, and the more he'll be utilized in that fashion. That's a big ups for Michael Pittman Jr. And the more he can do, the more he'll be utilized. Hey guys, please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and tag that notification bell so that you're notified next time I go live. Don't forget, you can also share this video to your favorite social media, and please open up that description of the video. In there you find a link to my Patreon, which is only $5 a month. Get all of my content plus Patreon specific content, and of course my merch shop right here. This video is sponsored by Newsbreak. Newsbreak is an app used over 1.5 billion times a month by people just like you to get local news via articles or videos by those who are focused on that specific area. People like myself. Just use the link in the description of this video to download it. Then search a city, state, or someone specific, like myself, Colts Law. Then make sure to follow them so you'll get all the news fresh as it comes out. This channel is proudly sponsored by the Backroom Collection. They do beautiful sports canvas art with football, basketball, baseball, and other sports themes. Special orders are accepted and autograph pieces are available. Many Indianapolis Colts signed pieces will be available beginning in November. Just use your discount code CL10 to purchase the pieces you want to spice up your living area. That's CL10. Another trait in the NFL for wide receivers to have is to be able to get off that line and avoid that contact immediately. Because if you're able to avoid contact and quit and avoid being jammed at the line of scrimmage, the quicker you're going to be able to get out on your routes and make effective plays. Now on this play, he's not targeted. He could have been, and I'll explain that in a moment. But on this play, you got a guy right here, right over Michael Pittman Jr., who's wanting to jam him at the line to get him off his route and to slow him on his route, right? And if you watch, Pittman avoids it completely. Watch, wait. He goes completely around him, uses his hands to knock that dude's hands down. He takes a wide berth, and as he brings his hands up, Pittman uses his hands to knock him down so that he is not being jammed at the line. Not only does taking a bit of a wide berth allow him to get to his top speed faster, but using his hands to be able to avoid being jammed at the line allows him to keep that speed and continue downfield. Now, why is that so important? Because you need to get to your spot as quickly as possible. Like on a play like this, if you look, initially it looks like Carson Wentz has got a clean pocket. As the play develops, you see Michael Pittman Jr. coming across. He's getting ready to come out here. He's going to be wide open. But you got outside pressure. Wentz has to run this way. He sees Jr. He knows. Watches. He's wanting to throw to him because, oh my goodness, he is so wide open, right? But because Wentz makes a smart move here. This is a very, very smart move. He initially wanted to throw to him, but because he's on the wrong side of the field, he's running right. Pittman's on his left side running left. You don't make that crossbody throw, all right, because you're not going to have the arm strength and the power to do it at that point. So he brings it back in. It looked like he was going to go to Campbell here instead, but he gets tackled. But the fact of the matter is, because of what Michael Pittman Jr. was able to do and avoid the contact, using his hands to avoid that contact and taking that wide berth, he was able to get downfield much quicker and be open, right? If Wentz was not on the run, this would have been a big play downfield, and the only person that would have been able to stop him would have been the safety if this ball is delivered properly, because he had already been past this cornerback. But, just a bad situation because Wentz was, forced out of the pocket at that time. But still, great job by Michael Pittman Jr. avoiding the jam at the line of scrimmage by using his hands and taking a wide berth all at the same time. That's only going to help him later on whenever he plays other teams in other situations like this. He'll be able to get off that line of scrimmage a lot quicker and help his quarterback. Another staple in the NFL for wide receivers are your wide receiver screens. And especially when you're looking at defenses that are playing you 10 yards off of you. Look at these guys. They're all lined up 10 yards off. Why is that? Because look at all these guys up here. You know this is coming. And because it's coming, screen is very, very important. And when you run a screen, the two most important things in a screen is how quickly after the catch you get up to your top speed and vision, your field vision, seeing where the blocks are coming from and utilizing those blocks properly. And Michael Pittman Jr. does a great job at both of this. First off, he takes a step back, so it's easier, open for him just in case. The reason why he steps back a little bit is because of the pass rush, right? Guys there. Had he stayed right here, this guy here would have been able to reach out, probably knock the ball down. Instead, he takes a step back, Wentz throws a little bit of a sidearm there in order to get the ball to him a little bit quicker. Catches that ball, turns upfield immediately, starts taking off running. Now, when he catches this football and he looks upfield, he sees his blockers already set up in front of him. You got a blocker down here, you got a blocker here, you got a blocker coming out to hit this guy. And he sees this. So what's he do? Normally, you want to go north and south on a screen. That's very, very important. But because of his field of vision, he realized, hey, this blocker's still coming out here. I got to be able to come onto the, inside of him so he can perform that block. And he does a great job of that, getting up top speed, running, utilizing. Now, he utterly missed that block, right? Completely. But because he ran inside as quickly as he could, just his body being there was good enough for him to get past this defender. And then, of course, he goes north and south as quickly as possible, picks up 12 yards on a screen pass. That's a first down every stinking time. So Michael Pittman Jr. now has shown us how he utilizes just about everything that you can possibly want from a wide receiver, especially one that's 6'4", 225 pounds. You don't expect a 6'4", 225-pound guy to run screen plays. You want your speedy receivers to run screens, your Paris Campbells, your T.Y. Hiltons. Michael Pittman Jr.'s got the ability to get up to top speed quick enough to make him effective in these screen plays. Plus, the fact that he's a big body guy and is able to break tackles, that helps a little bit as well. What's that ability that every team looks for in a big, tall, big-bodied wide receiver? Yeah, the ability to catch a 50-50 ball, right? You want to be able to use that guy, throw a ball up when you need to, when he's covered tightly, just throw a ball, loop it up there, and know it's a 50-50 ball, and have faith that that guy can come down with the ball over the defender. And on this play, Michael Pittman Jr. just freaking mosses dudes. All right, let's keep an eye out here. As you see, again, you've seen the takeoff, right? What I talked about, he avoided being pressed right at the line of scrimmage by taking the wide berth. Then he cuts back outside. Wentz launches this ball up, and oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What? Wentz here can't deliver a good ball. He knows he's got his man beat. Wentz knows that Michael Pittman Jr.'s got his man beat. And if he's able to throw this ball with enough strength down toward the 10-yard line, this is a catch and run for a touchdown all day. But the problem is he can't do it because as he's throwing, whack, he gets hit right as he throws the football. But watch. Pittman, watching, turns, jumps, does something that he did so many times in college at USC, where he just jumps over the defender, catches the ball, comes down with it, over the receiver, and then drags someone into the end zone. That's just stupid. Holy crap. You can't ask for a better 50-50 catcher than this right here. You got the guy all over him. The ball was severely underthrown because Wentz was hit at the same time that he was throwing the football. Couldn't get a full step inside. The defender has position big time over Michael Pittman Jr. Pittman jumps, reaches over the defender, bam, catches it, and somehow, some way, is able to keep his balance as he comes down, stays up, as the defender just gets crumbled to the ground, and the safety comes around the top to try to get him. He just turns and uses that big 6'4", 225-pound frame of his and drags the safety the rest of the 10 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. That is prime. That is absolute prime of what you want from a big-bodied wide receiver. You couldn't ask for any player in the NFL to do more than what he did here on this play. From the catch all the way to keeping his feet afterwards, after the contact, and then dragging a guy the rest of the way to, I mean, come on, man. So this was exactly what I'm talking about with Michael Pittman Jr. This is one of the reasons why the Colts drafted him in the first place, to make plays like this. And the fact that he's able to do so much other stuff as well, makes him definitely a number one wide receiver. So many people out there are like, well, the Colts don't have a number one wide receiver. Give me a break. You know, this is his second year, and he's already showing number one wide receiver skills. He just needs more targets and more time to be able to show this off. Thank you for watching my film room breakdown of Michael Pittman Jr. and whether or not he is a number one wide receiver in the NFL. Please put down in the comments whether you think Michael Pittman Jr. is or will be a number one wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. And don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time I go live or upload a video. And if you would like to help donate to the channel to help make sure that more videos like this comes out, please use the links in the description to do so. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law, and as usual, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.